Aloha Earthlings, this is Yemaya Renuka GB for the Embrace.life. We are in the woods today about the river, and I feel inspired to engage in a discussion with you regarding the news, regarding the power of spiritual activism and the power of on-the-ground activism. There are two schools of thought, maybe probably more, in the spiritual community. There are, for example, in the teaching of Abraham Hicks, which I love and use a lot, to cultivate my energy and raise my energy. That, don't worry, you don't need to have any action politically. The universe balances itself, and all is well. And the most important thing is for us to really create a very strong, high-level positive vibration, and to continue to desire solutions and perhaps different outcome for the universe to expand in that direction. At least that's my understanding of it. And then there is a school of thought that you really need to be on the ground to make a change. Personally, I came from being rebirthed, if you would, in the mid-80s in San Francisco, when I popped up from France as a young woman, and I was reborn into a very strong, active, activist community that would use the arts, but also action on the ground. After a few years, I realized that it was a time for me to heal myself first, and that's when I crossed over the Golden Gate Bridge and became a monk at the Zen Center at Green Gulch Farm, and engaged myself more into spiritual activism. Yet, I am not a believer that an ostrich, bury your head in the ground lifestyle is for me or for us. And I do strongly believe that action and the people action make a tremendous change. Our history proves such a direction. And I'm just wondering, how do we balance it? How do you balance it? How do you engage, with the part of you that is becoming so infuriated that this powerful fire help you become very active in the world in a way that creates change by social and environmental actions, by awakening your communities, and how the part of you that perhaps feel more into deep feminine receptivity and wants to keep your vibration very high, to create reality through energy. How do you navigate those two? Do you pick your battles? That would be kind of where I would go. I kind of pick my battles, with the, what resonates the deeper in me, what feels the most urgent, and also what is the most aligned with my belief system and my soul purpose. How do you go about it? I'm really, really curious. And I thought that perhaps we would bring divine transmission to help us on that path with these questions today, as we're seeing, the forces of, I don't know what you call it. Maybe it's patriarchy at this point. You could see it as evil. Are again creating a sense of devolution against the evolution that we seem to be on track with for the last couple of decades. We seem to be going quite backward, and we've been for the last couple of years for sure, losing some very, very detrimental rights regarding women's rights, people's rights, environmental rights. Yeah. So I will pick cards. And if you would like to participate, I would love to hear your comments. There's two ways for you to do that. In the Facebook, if you use Facebook, we have a group called The Embrace, Deep Feminine in Action, and that's for men and women who believe in the resurgence of the deep feminine within. Doesn't have to be in the body, it's within. You just need to, to ask to be part of the group, and we'll add you like that. And that's a good place to put comments. And then also on our YouTube channel, The Embrace. So picking from the Kuan Yin Oracle, from Alana Fairchild, excuse me. So this week, with the energies at stake and this in mind, actions versus energy, or both. The challenge comes in the way of weave the future golden. So weave the future golden is a lot about, empowering ourselves to receive the energy that that has been cultivated, that there is a sense of, having done a lot of work and receiving the gift of our future, using our sense of sight and using the energy that amplified manifestation. In the animal cards, we got skunk. Skunk can be seen as reputation in the world, in our communities, and it also sometimes speaks about leaking sexual energy. That's interesting. So if we're looking at that as a challenge, perhaps what I'm hearing here is that perhaps if we're able to be activated in action, but not leak energy, if your actions are nurturing you, empowering you, then yes. If it is a drain on what you're trying to accomplish, perhaps not. Let's see for the sweet medicine regarding that very issue. We have Nectar of the Lotus, and that's a very feminine oriented card. It's the Lotus of Kuan Yin is feeding you, and it's also about not working from an empty cup, working with a fully filled cup and making sure that you are taken care of, you are being fulfilled, you are being nurtured before you act in the world. And then we got Armadillo, which is about boundaries. So that seems pretty clear to me here. I'll pick a couple more cards in a minute, but what I'm hearing from this reading today, is the balance of, choosing your actions, but moving from a place of fulfillment and boundaries. So, and that really makes sense, to be fed by the news in a constant way and letting it really affect your moods and your energy is not going to give result. If you're moving from that place of depletion, your actions in the world are probably not going to have much result. If you are being empowered because you are working in a group, in community, and you're feeding each other, nurturing each other energetically, then the power of your action will make their mark. Yeah? Let's pick two cards to complete our reading. The Veil of Shadows. Oh, and Butterfly. So let's bring them together. Veil of Shadows and Butterfly. I love this because that's really actually what I didn't do that in purpose, but that's really what, the embrace that life is offering to the world at this point. We are finishing to create the Earth Guardians Impact Academy, which helps and supports Earth Guardians, those of us that feel that we have the soul of an Earth Protectors because we are fully in love with Gaia, the Earth, and the evolution of our humanity, to let go of the shadow that might have anchored itself in your being via childhood adversity and life's trauma. So our programs are directly addressing the remnants and limiting effect of childhood adversity and trauma so that Earth Guardians can fully reach an affluent influence on the planet. So I love that, so we're talking again, just to recap, about making sure that you're coming from a place of affluent and extra, of cup overflowing, not from a cup that is empty. And so making sure that you nurture yourself, that you have strong boundaries about choosing your battles and choosing the information that comes to you and comes in your space. And then taking a nice deep look and transforming the roots of what is keeping you stuck and keeping you from reaching your most beautiful, passionate actions and influence in the world. Thank you so much for being with us today. Again, it's Yemaya Renuka Dubi at the embrace.life. That's our website. The Embrace Deep Feminine in Action. You can find the Facebook group, and then on YouTube, I'm pretty sure we're under the Embrace. I'll have to double check for you. Sending you much love. Aloha. Ahuiho. Until we meet again.